Hello, welcome to ELE-220 Communication Systems and the associated lab ELE-220L. This course is about electronic communication. My name is Gary Millett. I'll be your instructor for the course. In this course, it turns out that we try to answer the question, how do we transmit information from point A to point B electronically? And we take a look at historically how that's been done in the past, and certainly concentrate more on present-day technology that allows us to transmit vast amounts of data, megabits and gigabits of data per second from point A to point B. We'll look at a short history of electronic communications, and for a long time all we did was use it to take and provide entertainment and information. There's something called the golden age of radio, and that lasted for decades. It was really the only form of entertainment for families for several decades until the advent of television, which quickly replaced the golden age of radio. And of course we will take a quick look at how television works, but it turns out that we're more interested in modern day computer communications. That is the transmission of data from one computer to another, or in today's technology, the Internet of Things, where we can have machines talking to machines. So we'll look at traditional modulation techniques. We call them analog modulation, things like AM, FM, and pulse. And then we talk about digital modulation, the newest technology that we have to, again, transmit multimedia, which again, it could be data that's video, audio, or just computer information. We'll also take a look at how we receive this information. So we'll look at producing it with transmitters and then receiving it with receivers. We'll also take a look at things like how electromagnetic waves propagate through the atmosphere and terrestrially around the world. We'll take a look at transmission lines, and the last topic, and of course basically, is we take a look at antennas. So again, we'll go into all these areas in fairly much detail. We start with, again, a short history, then we take a little bit of a look at regulation. The government has gotten involved with communications and telecommunications, regulating the industry. And then we'll take a look at a block diagram, which is the hardware. And again, I already mentioned transmitters, receivers, the channel, and so forth. So we'll take a look at that, and we'll talk about the language of communications. We'll take a look at decibels. We'll look at filters. We'll look at test equipment used in the field, and we'll also take a look at signal spectra. And again, going over the older forms of modulation to the newer forms, and we'll also touch on multiplexing and access, multiple access systems. Today we have to allow the receivers and the transmitters to work some magic as we evolve into cognitive radio, as it's called. Most radio receivers over the last 100 years have been super heterodyne receivers. We're at a point now in the history of electronic communications where we have software-defined receivers, and we'll touch upon those also. So without much further ado, let's get to it, and we should have fun. Thank you.